There are two peace that is mentioned in the writings of the Baha'i Faith. One is called lesser peace, and the other is the most great peace. With the lesser peace, we have nothing to do with that peace. It's also known as the political peace. But with the most great peace, that is a Baha'i peace in the future, in the far off future. And when that peace happens in the world will be operated entirely on the administrative orders and teachings and laws and teachings of Baha'u'llah. But this presentation is about the lesser peace. Although we have nothing to do with this peace, nevertheless, Baha'u'llah had a plan of how that peace should come about. In a letter from Abdu'l-Baha to a peace committee of the League of Nations, this committee was called the Committee of the Durable Peace in Hague in 1919. This letter of Abdu'l-Baha was sent to them, and he explained Baha'u'llah's plan. That is, the national assemblies of countries, that is to say the parliament, should elect 2 or 3 persons who were the choicest men of their nations, and they are well informed concerning international laws and relationship between governments, and well aware of the essential need of the world of humanity this day. The number of these representatives should be in proportion to the number of the inhabitants of that country. And these elected souls who are chosen by the National Assembly, that is to say the Parliament, must be confirmed by the upper house, the Congress, and the Cabinet, and also by the President and the monarch, so that these persons may be the elected one of their nations. And among these people, the members of the Supreme Tribunal will be elected, and all mankind will thus have a say therein, have a share therein, because all these individual delegates is fully representative of his nations. And when the Supreme Tribunal gives a ruling on any international questions, either unanimously or by majority rules, there will no longer be any pretext for the plaintiff or ground of objection for the defendant. In case any one of these governments or nations, in their execution of the irrefutable decision of the Supreme Tribunal, be negligent or dilatory, the rest of the nations will rise up against it, because all nations and governments of the world are the supporters of this Supreme Tribunal. Consider what a firm foundation this is. Abdu'l-Baha stated that America has a leading role in bringing peace and unity in the world. In a letter from, in the words from Abdu'l-Baha that he counseled a highly placed officials of the government United States of America. You can find these words in Shoghi Effendi's Advent of Divine Justice in the last chapter with the heading The Destiny of America. Abdu'l-Baha counseled the highly placed officials of the government United States of America, which he said, "You can best serve your country if you strive in your capacity as a citizen of the world to assist the eventual application of the principle of federalism, which underline the government of your own country, to the relationship now existing between the peoples and nations of the world. These words of Abdu'l-Baha, Shoghi Effendi said, fired the imaginations of America's tragically unappreciated president, and that is President Woodrow Wilson, whose high endeavor Abdu'l-Baha with his own pen acclaimed as signalizing the dawn of the most great peace. The high endeavors of the President Woodrow Wilson. President Woodrow Wilson included principles that were clearly enunciated by Abdu'l-Baha in his 14-point peace proposal that he tabled in the League of Nations conference that he addressed in Paris, France in 1919. As Shoghi Effendi said, he was America's tragically unappreciated president. When President Woodrow Wilson tabled his 14-point peace proposal in the League of Nations conference that he addressed in Paris, France in 1919, he was rejected outright. One commentator called the president a fuzzy dreamer. Another commentator said the problem with the president's proposal is of more theological rather than intellectual. Interesting to note, he was rejected by the world, but Abdu'l-Baha recognized his activities as signalizing the dawn of the most great peace. Even though he was rejected many years, over 80 years ago, that peace proposal still exists today. There still exists in America's political circle a peace system that is called a Wilsonianism. In an article on the Times magazine on the 30th of December 2002, issues of Time magazine about President Wilson and President Bush, it stated in a January 2000 article in Foreign Affairs, Condoleezza Rice, who would become Bush's national security advisor, sniffed with obvious disapproval that there were strong echoes of Wilsonian thoughts in the Clinton administration. But everything changed in that administration after September 11th. This is a short statement from that same article. In the wake of September 11th, President George Bush has embraced a muscular Wilsonianism. It is time for the world to heed the exhortation of the divine physician, that is His Holiness Baha'u'llah, and bring the peace and unity and tranquility to our troubled world. Thank you, and I wish you well. Faftailawa, manuia lo fa fongfong mai malo fa sausanga Samoa, soifua.